Okay, hey friends, welcome to this power flow. This will be about a 30-minute power flow, moving through some strengthening postures, really focusing on that Ujjayi breath and creating heat within the body, creating heat in whatever room of your home you're in, and just having fun and listening to the body and really finding your edge. So my name's Nikki, this is the Yoga Den, and let's get started. We are going to start in a kneeling position. If that's not comfortable for your knees, you can start in a seated position, any seated position that you'd like. We're going to close the eyes, really grounding here. So let's keep our palms down to promote that grounding. Finding length through the spine, through the crown of the head. Just begin to notice your thoughts, observing them, but not attaching yourself to them. Just begin to let everything go. If you'd like to, you can set an intention for your practice, maybe a goal that you have for this practice, or a mantra you'd like to repeat. Today I'm feeling I am enough. So as I inhale, I will think I am, and as I exhale, enough. Begin to fire up that Ujjayi breath. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the nose with a slight constriction in the back of the throat. So it's an audible breath. You're kind of making an ocean sound or a Darth Vader sound. This breath creates heat inside the body, and it really helps as you go through some of the more difficult postures. So I will remind you throughout to stay connected to your breath. Stay connected to that intention. On your next inhale, come forward into a tabletop position. We're going to go through some cat-cows. Inhaling to cow, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze. Exhaling to cat. Follow your own breath as you go through your cow and your cat, adding in any organic movement that feels good. Maybe shifting the hips forward and back, side to side. 2 more breaths here to warm up the spine. Meeting in that neutral tabletop, tucking the toes and lifting the hips for your first downward facing dog. Walking our dog, so lower one heel and bend the other knee, and then do that on the other side. Really finding length in the calves. Again, just getting out whatever movement feels good here. I apologize if you could hear that ankle pop. Your next inhale, we're gonna roll the spine, coming into a plank. Then exhale, bend the elbows halfway for a chaturanga. Inhale back to plank. Exhale, roll the spine, down dog. So we're gonna do that 3 more times. Inhaling into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhaling to plank. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhaling back to plank. Exhale, down dog one more time. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walking out the dog again. Inhaling, right leg up, hip is closed. Really engaging through the back body, flexing that right foot. On your next inhale, bring the right knee to the nose and step it through. We're gonna find high crescent. So bending deeply into that front knee and then extend the arms towards the ceiling. Relaxing the tops of the shoulders away from the ears. Finding strength in this pose. One more deep inhale, and as you exhale, planting the hands, stepping back to plank and going through your flow. So chaturanga, inhale up dog or cobra, exhale downward facing dog. 2 breaths, in through your nose and out through your nose. On that third inhale, left leg lifts, hip is closed. Again, left toes are flexed. Really firing up that glute. On your next inhale, left knee comes to the nose. Step it through, finding high crescent on your left side. So again, bending deeply into the front knee. Keeping that core engaged. Keeping the arms strong. One more deep inhale. Exhale the arms down. Step back to your plank and flow, or meet us in a downward facing dog. You always have that option to skip the vinyasa or the flow. On the next inhale, we're gonna hop, but we're gonna hop into a wide squat. So try hopping your feet to the outside of your hands. So bend the knees and then hop to garland pose, malasana. So really opening through the chest here. If you need to, you can place a block underneath the sits bones. Just focusing on opening the hips here. One more deep inhale. And as you exhale, plant the hands and straighten the legs for a forward fold. We're gonna walk the feet, heel toe them together. On your next inhale, bend deeply through the knees, sitting back into chair pose. Utkatasana. If this is too much for your shoulders, you can bring the hands to heart center. Try not to stick that booty out, find that neutral spine. And breathe. I know your quads are talking to you. They're firing up. That's what we want. One more deep inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to slowly lower all the way to our mat, coming into Navasana, boat pose. I told you this was a power flow. Bear with me. Boat pose, keep that chest open. Lengthen the legs if you want to challenge yourself, or you can keep them bent. And then we're holding. Inhale, let's bring the hands to heart center. And as we exhale, we're going to try to bring that left elbow to the mat. Inhale back to center. Exhale, right elbow. Inhale, center. Left, right. 4 more. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. And hold your boat. Reach those arms forward. We're going to begin rocking the length of the spine a couple times. On this next one, cross the ankles, and you can hop or step back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, down dog. And breathe. Reconnecting with your breath. Reconnecting to that intention. Inhaling, I am. Exhaling, enough. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, let's lift it again. Exhale, knee to nose. One more time. Knee to nose. Step it through. Finding high crescent. From this high crescent, bring your hands to heart center. And we're going to twist to the right. Just with the torso at first. And then as you're ready, bringing that left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Really pressing the palms together, reaching that right elbow towards the ceiling. On your next inhale, untwist. Exhale, plant the hands. Step it back to plank and go through your flow or skip it. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift it. Knee to nose. One more time. And step it through. Crescent lunge. Bringing the hands to heart center and twisting to the left, just with the torso at first. And breathing. And as you're ready, bringing that right elbow to the outside of the left knee, pressing the palms together, reaching that left elbow towards the ceiling. Inhale, bringing everything back to center. Exhaling, hands to the mat, and go through your flow, or skip it. Inhale, shift your gaze to your hands. We're going to step, hop, or float to a seat. Back to Navasana, or boat pose. So finding your best, most beautiful boat. Keeping that heart shining forward. From here, we're going to do some toe taps, which is just like it sounds. Tap the left toe down, and then right. Left, right. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, remembering to breathe, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then hold your boat, and then begin rocking. 3 times. On that third time, crossing at the ankles, and going through your flow. You can hop or step, or skip it, and breathe. Your next inhale, right leg lifts. Bring your knee to your nose, step it through for high crescent. And from here, we're going to push off the back foot and bring that knee forward. Finding your balance here. Finding a focal point or a drishti. Keeping that core engaged. Let's go ahead and release the arms up. And then we're going to extend that leg. So I know normally we might hold on to the foot, but I want to really focus on strength here. Feeling that leg shake. You're lifting it a little higher and let it go. Shake it out. Finding your Tadasana or mountain pose. Again, reconnecting with that breath. So we have to do it all on the other side. So inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. And go through your flow or skip it. Inhale, left leg lifts. Knee to nose. Step it through. High crescent. Again, preparing to push off that back foot. Bring the knee forward. Find your balance here first. Find your focal point. Engage your core. And then extend the arms up. Then extend the leg out. I know you might catch a cramp in the quad. Try to breathe through it. One more push, get it a little higher, and release. Let it go. Very nice. I'm sweating, are you sweating? Inhale the arms to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Go through your flow or skip it. Shifting the gaze towards your hands. Step, hop, or float to a seat. Finding Navasana for the last time, I promise. So this is really your most beautiful Navasana yet. Maybe you extend the legs this time. And breathe. On that next exhale, we're going to come into low boat. So feet are lifted still, head and shoulders are lifted, and then we're going to swim it. Swimming the feet. And then breathing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees to chest. Begin rolling the length of the spine. But this time, just meeting in a seat. We're going to lengthen the legs out in front of us. Preparing for a forward fold. So keeping the spine straight. Inhale the arms up and forward fold. Maybe holding on to the ankles or the feet. Really reaching that heart forward. And as you find your edge, then you can round the spine. Really reconnecting with the breath. Inhaling, I am. Exhaling, enough. One more deep inhale and an even deeper exhale. And then as you inhale, coming back up. We're going to do those rock and rolls again a couple times. Then crossing the ankles, hopping back and going through your flow or skip it. inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose, and then bring it through, finding your pigeon. So for pigeon, the shin, the goal is for the shin to line up with the front of your mat. But if your hips are not quite as open like me, the foot might come closer to the groin. So the idea is just to keep the hips square to the mat. So if you need to place a block underneath that right glute, that right hip, you can do so, or a blanket. Take a look over that left shoulder. Let's make sure our left toes are pointed back and the foot's not sickling. From here, let's find some length and opening in our pigeon. One more deep inhale. And as you exhale, begin to walk the hands forward, coming onto the forearms or coming all the way down for your sleeping pigeon. We tend to hold a lot of stress and anxiety in the hips. Deep hip opening postures such as this might bring up difficult emotions. But you also might feel a sort of release. So I invite you to let whatever comes up, come up, and let it go, whether that's tears or a groan or a scream. We are social distancing, so most likely you're alone, or maybe your roommate or your neighbor might hear you, or your kids. But just give yourself permission to release and let go of whatever that is. Give yourself permission to forgive if you need to. Forgive yourself. Forgive someone else. Very gently, we're going to come back up to our hands. We're going to tuck the left toes. And if you can, push back into your down dog. Noticing how the right side feels compared to the left. And as you're ready, lifting that left leg and then bringing it through, setting up for pigeon on the left side. So again, finding your pigeon. It might look totally different from the other side. It might look different from mine, but just keeping those hips square to the front of the mat. Gazing over that right shoulder to make sure the right foot's not sickling. And then finding some length here. Walking the hands back a bit. Shining the heart forward. And then exhaling the torso over the left leg. Staying on the forearms or coming all the way down for your sleeping pigeon. Taking long, slow and steady breaths here. And again, finding that release. Generally, when things come up, you might have that gut reaction to push them back down. But in this moment, just let it go. Let it come up. Acknowledge it. And let it go. What are you carrying at this moment that is heavy? that you can just put down. I invite you to put it down. One more deep inhale with me, in through the nose and out through the nose. Then slowly coming back up to the hands. Tucking those back toes and pushing back to your down dog. Walking it out. As you're ready, dropping the knees. For our back bend, we are going to do a pretty deep chest opener, shoulder opener. If this pose is not in your practice, feel free to lie on your back and maybe do a bridge pose. But if you'd like to join me, come up to high kneeling. We're going to bring our hands to our low back, like we're putting them in our back pockets. We're going to shift the hips so they're over the knees, and then open the chest, pointing those elbows back. Finding a slight back bend here. Maybe dropping the head back, opening the throat. Inhaling back up. So that was my first version of a camel. You can repeat that version, or if you can reach for your heels, you can join me in doing so on this round. So I'm going to reach both hands back for my heels, opening my chest, and then dropping my head back, keeping my hips over my knees. Slowly releasing your camel. We're going to do that one more time. So you can join me again with the full expression of camel, or you can stay with your hands to your back pockets. Whatever feels good to you. This will be our last back bend. So inhale, and as you exhale, reach back for the heels. I'm going to reach my right arm back and then come into cactus, opening the chest even more. Bringing my right arm down, then reaching back through my left, coming into cactus and releasing. Gently coming back up and then finding a child's pose. Releasing that low back. Staying connected with that breath. Staying connected with I am enough. Gently come back up. We're just going to come to a seat. So come up to the top of your mat, just so you have enough room to lie back. We're going to reach the arms forward and slowly come down. As slow as you'd like. One more push on the abs. Then relax here. Going to take a twist. Cross your right leg over your left. Bring your arms to cactus arms or to a T, whatever feels nice, or whatever you have room for. We're gonna take an inhale, and as you exhale, drop the knees to the left. Shift your gaze over to the right, so in the opposite direction. Enjoy this supine twist. Enjoy this detoxifying twist. Feeling a nice stretch on the outside of that right hip as well. Inhale the knees back to center. And let's drop them to the right briefly, just for a counter twist. And then come back to center and let's switch the cross. So bring your left leg over your right and drop your knees to the right. Gazing towards the left if that feels okay. Feeling that release in the low back, the stretch through your left hip. Noticing how it feels. Maybe noticing how your breath is slowed down. How your body has naturally cooled itself off. Inhale your knees back to center, briefly dropping them to the left for a counter twist. Coming back to center, uncrossing the legs, bringing both knees to your chest and squeezing, maybe lifting the nose to meet the knees. Squeeze, 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 everything as tight as you can. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, release everything down to your Shavasana. You made it. Release that Ujjayi breath. Close your eyes and let every inch of your body melt into your mat. Take you through a body scan, starting at the toes, relaxing the toes, letting the feet naturally fall open. Calves melting into your mat. Knees are soft. Thighs are relaxed. Front and back, up to your glutes. Hips are opening naturally. Soften your belly. Releasing any tension from the chest, shoulders, relaxing away from your ears and down your back. Biceps are soft, elbows melting into the mat. Palms are shining forward. Fingers naturally curling. Neck is long and relaxed. Release any tension from the face. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Head is relaxed. All the way to your crown. Slowly and gently bring your awareness back to your body. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes, circle the wrists and the ankles, keeping your eyes closed, And bring the knees to your chest, and then slowly roll onto your favorite side, using that bottom arm as a pillow. Taking a moment here, let's take a moment for some gratitude. Maybe thinking of one thing that you're grateful for. Maybe just having gratitude for what your body was able to do. Keeping the eyes closed, use that top hand to press yourself up to a seat. And we'll take one more breath together. Inhale both arms to the ceiling, and as you exhale, bring both hands through to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Thank you so much. Bye, yogis.